two places. If you are here, so you're definitely interested in starting something related to F&B, and that's where, for example, Asil F&B comes in. They do F&B consultancy. They specialize in food trucks consultancy. They help you with that. They have Imago accelerator. They have a 3-month accelerator program. They help. I wrote that down somewhere. So they would help you in finding funding. I would love to start with that one. And then they help you with mentorship. That's also cool. And they also help you with marketing. So I think that's brilliant. And they usually work with growth stage restaurants or F&B related. I cannot just call them restaurants now because they have different names. So it's a 3-month program if you are 4 years plus operating, and they can help you with that. But Asil F&B can help you when you're just starting up, so they can help you with the startup. If you're in a growth phase, they can help you with that. If you're underperforming, they can also help you with that. And as I said, they specialize in food trucks. So I would love to spend all the time here talking. It makes me feel famous, but I would like to give the mic to Taher. So Taher, where's Taher? Oh, there. Sorry, you're taller than my vision, so I had to. Thank you. Let's welcome Taher, please, everyone.
Yeah, it's working. Hi, thank you, Nabil, for the introduction. Thank you, Asil, for inviting me. Thanks all of you for coming over and listening. It's going to be kind of no holds barred, all right? Going to talk a lot of hardcore, on the ground reality of the food truck business that I've experienced. Just before I start, if you guys don't mind, I'm really interested. Can I get a raise of hands? How many people are here from the F&B industry? Okay, maybe half of you. And how many of you are thinking of starting something? Oh wow. Right. Let's see how many dreams I can kill tonight. By the way, I guess all of you guys have seen the movie Chef. Yeah? Yeah, that's full of shit. That's nothing like that at all. It's absolutely nothing like that. So I'll just tell you what I'm going to do. I want to make this a little bit interactive because I think food trucks is a burning question here in Dubai. We've all seen how well they're working in other cities, right? In LA, in New York, in London. I'm sure a lot of you guys have burning questions. So what I'll do, I'll go and talk about the FAQs I think are common, and I'll address them. I'll tell you then a little bit about my experience. I'll do it like this. I'll tell you what is and what is not possible in Dubai right now as of today, what I know. Okay, I'll tell you what the deal is. Then I'll tell you who are the influencers, the players in Dubai helping to shape the food truck industry and try to move it forward and modernize it. I'll tell you a little bit about the other food trucks who I know. I've become friends with the other guys in the industry, Gaff and Salt and these guys. I can relate a bit of their experience to you. And my experience, my food truck. So I have to start with a bit of a dampener, a bit of a sad topic actually. I won't dwell on it too much because we're here to talk about the food truck industry in general, but it is because it's related to my food truck. Mine has actually had to shut down. I had to shut it down. I know it just started last month, but that's more to do with internal, there's some bureaucratic thing there, not so much. Don't be alarmed. It's still, things are still possible here. But it's very important for you to know that that this is an entrepreneur in Dubai, started a truck, it didn't work out. So I want you to see this is the reality you're looking at. But anyway, we're here to, educate you. And once I give you my story, I really want to throw it out there and listen from any of you guys. If you have questions that I didn't cover or there are things that you really want to ask, feel free to shoot up your hand and ask, and we'll make it Q&A. Okay? So let's start with, I'll start with what's correct as of today in Dubai. And I'll tell you from the horse's mouth in Dubai municipality, they are putting a stop on trucks for the moment because so many trucks have arrived in Dubai and there's no, as such, correct formality or legislation here. So what they say is, the trucks that are here, it's fine, you do it for events and festivals, but free to roam, or going around Dubai, parking up and selling, it's not something that's done at the moment because there's no like legitimate kind of framework for it. But that's something they're working to, you know, correct, move, and improve right now. It's something that will take a bit of time to modernize. So that's the reality as of today. So that's why you see all the trucks at event festivals, concerts, and things like that. Also, I mean, there are anomalies in that equation. You have Jakes and Sol, and they have. I'll explain what I know about that. So yeah, what happened with, for example, my truck to do business. I can go with my truck and apply for a temporary permit if I'm invited to an event. For example, the launch of, some of you might have gone to the launch of D3. The D3 invited F&B vendors. So happened that I had a truck at the time, and then I go to Dubai Municipality saying, I have this truck and I'm selling in D3 for, you know, 1, 2, 3 days. And they say, fine, here's a temporary permit. In that case, it's fine, you know, that's how most of the guys are running their trucks now, at events and festivals. The other thing you have to know also is there's no such thing as a permit for food trucks. That is something they're making now. You can get licenses for food and beverage trading, for restaurant, for cafeteria. These are very known, and these are very well known entities. These are you know, established forms, modes of selling food in Dubai. But trucks are new. You have to remember, this is a very fast-growing country. Trucks are new. The government wants to change, but they're a little bit slow to change. What government in the world isn't, you know? Imagine all the paperwork and bureaucracy that goes in that. So these things take time. So I guess it's something that will develop over time. It just needs people in the industry pushing the government. So I know, for example, Estil and other guys. What used to be Eat Street and 54 East. These guys are working with the government to change that, to allow entrepreneurs like yourself who've got a dream of a truck to you know, sign up and get a license and run a truck. But so there's all these challenges in the way. Also, you know, where can you go in Dubai 5 days a week to sell? So that gets murky as well. This part of the road belongs to RTA. Go to the RTA and get permission. No problem, khalas, you sell. Then he says to you, go to civil defense and get your truck approved. He'll give you a headache about, do you have gas this, electric that? Fine, maybe you have schematics, approved. Then the last bastion, if you ever played Street Fighter, it's like the last boss at the end of the game. That's Dubai Municipality, that's the one you have to get past, right? They're the one who give you the permit, the golden ticket to sell. And so that's where it gets a bit, that's why it's okay in events and festivals, because they're like legal places to sell food to the public. Restaurants are legal entities to sell food to the public, but the roadside, you know, that's a grey area. That's what they're working on right now, as far as I know. I mean, the story changes every day. So yeah, that's the kind of legality and permit side of it. So I'll tell you a little bit about the influences. I know, for example, Estil works with the various departments, like municipality, to take what they've learned about frameworks in other cities and saying, hey, look, this is how they do it in LA or whatever, and you know, this is what we must do to implement to allow it in Dubai. And other such entities also have been trying to influence the government. And who else is there? And then there's entrepreneurial platforms who say, we are going to be a platform to allow food trucks to join us. We'll get you the location, sign up with us, we'll get you the locations, you pay the fee, and we'll find you spots around town to sell. But this is still, all of this is in its infancy, still right now in Dubai, still nothing is formalized as such. So now I'll tell you a little bit about how I did it with my truck. I partnered with an entity here, and we got the truck approved. It had to be fitted out with a kitchen. You go to Dubai Municipality again, and they approve that this is a correct kitchen layout, and the wash basin is where it's supposed to be, the gas is where it's supposed to be. You get it approved, and once your truck is approved, then, you know, like I said to you guys before, you can go around to events that you're invited to, like if there is a One Direction concert and they say we need a food truck and they invite me, I show that contract to Dubai municipality and I get the permit and I can sell that. That's the way we're doing business as trucks as of today. If you guys are thinking about how does Salt do it, Salt, so this is a funny story. Salt got to know me because I said something about them on my blog, which I wasn't supposed to, and a lady got in touch with me. So everyone kept asking me, hey, I heard you guys are getting a food truck, how do you do it? And how is Salt doing it? So I wrote on my blog, I went, I have no idea how Salt are doing it. For all I don't know, I wrote it as a completely flippant comment. I wrote, maybe it's Wasta. Now, this lady was not happy, they were not happy about that comment. I meant it as a joke, but she rang up, she goes, look, I really didn't like that comment. I worked my ass off getting the license, it was really hard. I had a lot of problems with Dubai municipality, a lot of problems. And then we agreed that we use an existing, because there's no food truck permit structure, like I told you. We will use a kiosk license structure, and I can't move my truck. She's removed her wheels from her truck, she can't move. But everyone knows where it is. I mean I know they have the hashtag find Salt, but it's only in one place. But it's a great social media campaign, fantastic campaign. And she did. She worked very hard to get that place, and she worked very hard to get that location, which is also on private land, and she has to rent it from the landlord. So this is the other way. Other way people are using their trucks to make a business. So Salt is doing it in that way, and I think Jake's also is. But I don't know. I don't know if Jake's is here today, so I won't speak on his behalf. But some people have their own tricks on Wasta, or they know somebody and they can get away with it. This is it's like the Wild West here. Anything you have a go, anything goes. So yeah, going back to my story about the truck. So we got the truck approved. The other company that we partnered with, they did all the help. They got the truck from America, got it fitted out, got it approved by the municipality, and man, all the things you have to go through, all the shit you have to go through. I'm going to point at this guy here, Lawrence, because he's the one who was with me helping get it done. But you have to go to RTA, and then RTA, man, they ask, we have to do a test for this. There was some obscure test about the length of the truck being odd. I don't remember what it was. That kept that delayed for a week. I hear raw coffee guys tell me they've got a truck, and it was stuck in the RTA for like 2 months. And I don't remember the reason why. Some obscure reason, like there's no window at the back of their truck, even though there's a freaking kitchen between the back of the door and the driver's wing mirror. And they had to, there's all these odd little tests that you have to pass. It's a new thing for the RTA. What do you expect? So there's a lot of bumps and things you go through, but eventually you got that passed, got that approved. And then it's down to you how to brand. You as an entrepreneur would brand it your way. You go to a design agency. I did something very cool. If you guys have seen the pickup trucks that drive around Dubai, all these pickup trucks, driven by angry Pakistani drivers, it has those very intricate metalwork with birds, and some people will notice it, some people don't.
Truck art.
The truck art, yeah, exactly. So I just asked one of these random dudes, like, Bhaijan, which means brother, where do you guys get your trucks from? He goes, Khan Sahab in Sharjah, and spits like that. And then, I drove to Sharjah, man, in the middle of the guts of Sharjah. I don't even know how I got out of that place. I found a place where all these trucks go to get pimped out. It was like, I think it's like something out of a movie, like all these guys in shalwar kameez sitting around smoking. And I said to them, I went, look, can you pimp, I've got a food truck coming from America, and can you design it and make it Pakistani-fied the same way you do these other trucks? And they loved the idea of that so much, they loved the project so much that they spent like, and did a fantastic job. I don't know if you guys have seen on Facebook the picture of the truck. A fantastic job, and this is real handmade, artisan, guys off the street by hand, making the metal work. They did the painting, intricate painting, all the individual jingle jangles that you might have seen. It goes along the bottom of the bottom bed of the truck, all these little jingle jangles. In fact, if anyone ever heard my truck coming, You hear this ding, ding coming before before the actual sound of the motor. So yeah, these guys, we got pimped out with them. We got a graphic designer to wrap that outside of the truck. There's loads of other stuff we have to learn about where to plug it in. It's got its own generator, what can work, what cannot work. And these are things you learn as as a small business. You have to. It's like a crash course in learning a food truck. Now, if you guys are wondering, how long does it take? How much does it cost me if I go ahead and do it? But bad luck to you, Moti Roti. You had a few ups and downs, but my idea is better than yours. I'm going to go ahead and do a truck. Good luck to you. But if you want to know how much, my rule of thumb is I know in this industry for a fact that if you want to start your own restaurant, like a small restaurant, basic, casual, probably it'll cost you about $1 million to start. Easy. Anyone tells you it's less than that, they're talking crap. It's definitely something around that. And the truck, my formula is truck is around half that cost, something like that. Because you don't have all the other overheads that go with a restaurant. So it's the cost of the truck, the cost of importing, the cost of your kitchen, the cost of branding it. And then I think if I recall the time from the time I signed up for a food truck to the time it was operational on the road, I think it was about 3 months, 4 months, something like that, around that time. And yeah, as I say, I was using it purely for events. Now, as Moti Roti, in the last 2 years, we've become very well networked with the event organizer here. Some of you might have seen us in Bright Market, in Media City concerts, at the Dubai Food Festival. I mean, that's from just hard work, just going out there, networking, doing events. Another event organizer says, oh, I saw you in such and such concert, can you come to my event? So because of that, we had a very good advantage. So we were able to get into a few events with the truck, before we gave the truck back. So that's how we were doing business. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, if you guys are wondering, what's it like running a food truck business? It was a hell of a lot of fun. Everyone notices you. Everyone takes pictures of you. The staff enjoy themselves. My God, the staff, I feel like I'm a dad sometimes, and they're my kids. They bicker about everything every day. But on the truck, they all, everyone gets along. It's a very familial feeling because you feel like you're in it together. You're running a business from this one small place, and you're attracting the passing public. So yeah, that's how it feels like when you're running a truck. It's a great sense of pride, a sense of showmanship, and it's a great platform to show off if your concept is unusual like mine, Pakistani rotis, which is not something you go out and get in an average restaurant. It's a great way to showcase it. It's a great way to express the brand and the concept. So other than that, we did well in the events. We did better as when we normally go to events as a stand or a pop-up. Definitely the truck made a difference. People come over, they're curious, they want to try it out. And this is what I can relate to you from my experience of running a truck. And quite honestly, I hope I haven't shocked anyone. I just some hard truths, but some good truths. There are some good things. My job is not to, it's a great thing to dream. It's the dreams that keep pushing us to do better things and better ourselves, or contribute things to society. By all means, a truck is a great way to do a business. But at this time, this present time in this town, is fraught with many challenges, and those challenges firsthand I've endured. So you're talking to battle-scarred, battle-hardened dude right here. But I in no way discourage it. I say it was a wonderful way if you're willing to take a hit for a while until the law sorts itself out. It's a wonderful way to express yourself or your business or to stand out. The only thing I worry about here in Dubai is that it gets too crowded. Like every other dude on the corner is, hey man, I'm getting a food truck, and it's not a special thing anymore. I think there's only so much room in town. We can only have so many trucks in town, and we don't want something to become such a fad that you over dilute and overkill a wonderful concept. So what I suggest now, guys, is I've shared a lot of my knowledge with you guys. Please throw your questions right at me. I'm ready to bat. Yeah, okay, wow, here we go. Tell me.
So first, thank you very much for sharing your experience and bringing a dose of reality that takes it out of the hallucinations into a more grounded way of looking at things and understanding what we need to battle and what we want to do. So first question I have is what's next for you? So obviously now you got knocked out, but you're not out. So you got knocked out, you're going to stand up.
You've seen Rocky, right?
So what's next? So you're getting up again. Where are you going to get hit again?
Reincarnation. So we've taken all that beautiful metal work and the stuff that we did to the truck. We've just taken it off. We stored it somewhere, and we hope to use it again. Moti Roti has been running as pop-up and partially truck for some time, and now we're ready to mature into a bricks and mortar shop. We're looking for our first location. For me, strategically, you're asking about me and my concept. The truck is a wonderful brand extension. Even if it doesn't make money in those events, even if Dubai isn't ready and doesn't hand out permits for 7 days a week selling on the street, it's still a great way to market, extend the brand, and let people know about you. That's what I feel, and I'll happily do a truck again in tandem with a retail shop, with a retail.
Yeah. So you use the truck as a market research and a proof of concept to go into a full-fledged concept, basically.
Yeah, it's actually, it's a very good way. It's still a little bit expensive and still full of problems, but it's less headachy and less expensive than doing your first restaurant. Okay, I'm gonna go like this way, so you go ahead.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
All right. Exactly who are your customers and what kind of taste you are catering for? Are you doing Pakistani cooking?
Yeah. Okay, so you're asking who is my target market?
Yes.
Yeah. I would say people like me, so that younger generation, Pakistani, Indian, perhaps people who have been brought up in the West and know the food truck culture and street food culture. My Moti Roti concept was inspired, if you guys know Chipotle, or here in town, Tocado. It models very heavily on that. I mean, those guys made Mexican food very cool and very gourmet and it's like fast food but upmarket and high-end. I want to do the same with curry and Pakistani food. I want it not to be like anywhere you can go, you can get butter chicken or kebab or naan. I don't want to be that guy. I want you to experience, if you came to my mum's house and sat at her table and she made fresh bread just off the fire, and anyone here who says they know curry, I argue that you do not know curry until you've been to some auntie's house, some Pakistani or Indian auntie's house, and taken the bread that she's made and eat it the way that we ate it. You break off the bread, you dip it in the curry, and you eat it with your hand like that. That to me is real food. And using a system like Tocado proved or Chipotle, these Mexican guys proved, where I use the rotis to turn it into a wrap to make it more accessible to people who are not used to breaking the bread and eating like that. I'm just using it as a way to evangelize my culture of Pakistani home food. So my target market is, I guess, these younger guys who miss their mom's rotis.
No, I was just getting worried about you wrapping up curry in roti. So
why are you worried? Tell me.
The curry being a liquid, and when you wrap it, I was all dripping.
I thought of that. So we made it very light. We made the sauce very light. It's not spicy. It goes in the roti fine. We went through very many broken rotis to get it right. So,
I'll have to pay you a visit.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Sorry, Kristen, you had a question.
So, well, first of all, thank you for sharing.
No problem.
You know, like you say, there's all these gray areas and this thick fog when it comes to food truck. Just sort of based on all your experiences to date with the food truck and where Dubai is at, would you, from sort of like a mentor point of view, recommend a food startup to start with a food truck at this stage?
If you got the cash, go for it. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's an exciting time now because so many things are new and up and coming. You've got some platforms that are working very hard with the government to try to push it forward, and some platforms that are trying to find common locations for trucks to park up, rock up, and sell. There's no guarantee that they will be ready anytime soon, but it's up to you. This is down to your gambling instincts. Yeah, it's a roll of the dice. Me, I'm a bit of a darer. I'll go for it. My partners who are investors, they're like, yo, what are you doing with my money, bro? yeah, I mean, it's really down to the person how ambitious and it's completely subjective, that question you asked me. Some people will say, this is going to be the next big thing and I'm willing to put my dollar down for it. But another person will say, there's nothing is certain, nothing is legalized, I don't know, it's not worth throwing money if we don't know. It's completely, it's almost philosophical, the question. So I don't think there's any wrong or right answer. I think it's worth it if you have the cash and you have a brand, like a restaurant or something. Then I think it's worth it. If you don't have a restaurant, if you're doing it for the first time, it's worth it if you don't mind, losing. If you think you might lose the money and you don't mind having a crack at it. So I don't know if that's a great answer. Sorry, please, yeah.
What's the step-by-step procedure to start this?
Well, I mean,
Talking from scratch.
From scratch, I can only tell you what my experience is just one way. Other people probably have different ways, and these guys here, for example, are trying to formalize or systemize a way to start up trucks. From my point of view, I already had an advantage. I was already started in the food and beverage industry. I already have a place where my food is cooked.
So you had a kitchen.
Yeah, actually, so this is I'm gonna confuse everyone here now because this is completely grey area. And if I go to Dubai municipality today and ask this question, they say, "Why are you doing this way?" But I'll try. Right now, I outsource the kitchen to somebody else. I have a contract with them. I say, "This is my recipe, mochi roti. You cook it like." Actually, my mum went to that kitchen and even showed the chef how to make the roti. It's hardcore. So they charge me for cooking the food, but I say to the Dubai municipality, that's my kitchen, that's my partner kitchen. I have a place where I'm cooking food, so I'm allowed to come to events and do kiosks or trucks because that's the stipulation. You must have a commercial place where your food is being cooked. It's absolutely necessary.
You can't cook it yourself.
I can't, but now now I have an investor who recently partnered with me. We're building a kitchen. And I told my third-party kitchen, hey, it was nice knowing you, bye-bye. But whether it's them or whether it's my own, I can. But the kitchen I'm making now is a commercial kitchen with a proper license approved. So yeah, I have a place to cook it, and therefore I can do the other things.
So you cooked your food there, and then you took kiosks at these events.
Yes. So yeah, you're asking. Okay. I mean, I don't want to dive. This is getting into the real nitty-gritty, but. I know a lot of people have different questions, so what I'll explain to you is like this. Cannot sell food anywhere in Dubai without having a commercial premise. Absolutely not possible. It can't be your grandma cooking in home and sending it to you sell on the street. What happens in events is, in my case, most of the food is cooked off-site. We take it to the event and we have systems that comply with Dubai municipality. Like if there's cooked chicken and it's hot, we have a system that keeps it warm and above a certain temperature. If there's drinks we're making which are cold, they must be in a chiller or an ice box maintained at a certain temperature. All the staff must have hygiene cards and health cards and all this big checklist. You must pass. Actually, it's a real pain in the butt, but you have to do all these things to be able to sell. There's loads of stuff. I mean, I haven't even scratched the surface, quite honestly. Sorry, there was something else you reminded me of there. It's gone from my head.
No, so I understand you did it in that way, and then you got these, you took these kiosks at different events. But again, coming to your food truck, for your food truck, you didn't need a formal license or anything, right? It's basically you're using the truck as a kiosk.
Yes, yeah. I'm adapting the same system because there's no proper licensing for trucks. I just said to them, the kitchen in this truck is already approved by the Dubai municipality. It's in this event, it's standing here and it's not moving. Right. You know where the truck is going to be, and I'm using it as a kiosk. And they're like, okay, approved. I'm only telling you what I want.
Yeah.
Maybe you go tomorrow and they say, la, not alone.
It's good to know the basics, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I saw a hand. Okay, this lady here, sorry.
I thought it was Mila from the retail.
I always don't recognize your glasses.
Every time. So I'm just curious because like restaurants, I would say that from a bureaucracy point of view, they're less risky here, but it's maybe triple the effort and it's too risky and it's a lot of other headaches. So I wanted to understand your motivation to kind of
continue as mobile or continue as bricks and
Because
mortar?
you had the pop-up shops,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming you're still gonna keep that.
They're
But you
still
also
keep that.
want to have your location, right? Your
Yeah.
local shop. So I just want to understand from, like, because it requires a lot of strength to, like, okay, after facing all of this burden, still like pursuing and now having your own shop, there would be tons of other challenges, but it's good to know. But I just wanted to understand why.
So despite all the stuff I've been through, you want to know why I would continue the pop-ups, you mean, or
The shop.
the bricks and mortar? Okay, I think I understand your question. So you're right. There is less in terms of bureaucracy. I mean, there's still a lot of headache in setting up a shop, but it's established. Everyone here opens a restaurant. There is a way. There are established and formal ways to open a restaurant here. There is a licensing procedure. There is a leasing procedure. There is an inspection procedure. There is a hiring procedure. All of these are formal and established, and they work. They require a shitload of cash. I didn't have that at the start. That's why I did it as a pop-up shop. But now, we've grown. We've got a bit of capital. I mean, if you came into this industry for the first time and you said to me, what should I do? Shall I do a proof of concept in a small kiosk or truck, or shall I go straight for a restaurant? I would say, if you got the cash to burn, go for the restaurant because it's just easy, it's just less headache. If you're willing to front that cash, million dirham or whatever, it's way easier. But if you're like me, I like a bit of a challenge. I like people saying no to me. I'm like, all right, mate, I'll find another way. I'll find a back way to do this. And I live my day every day like that, fighting something. But I'm quite happy. My personality type is quite happy in an entrepreneurial spirit kind of way doing that. It depends on the person, quite honestly. Yeah. Yes, please.
Do you know more about the kiosk, kind of the process to get the kiosk license that you mentioned, which is sold? I guess you mentioned sold process is that, where they got the truck, they pick up the wheels.
I don't know the intricacies of exactly how Salt did it, but that's how they explained it to me. But how I do it with my kiosk is a bit dodgy, but it's so I co-share a space.